Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to NBA Got Game TV, and as always, thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at the career of Julius Dr J Erving. To the 70s and 80s fans, you know that this guy was the face of the NBA for many years. But before we take a closer look, just a little reminder, if you like this video, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Also, underneath the video, you will see a link to my Facebook page.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And I would say, without any more blah blah, let's get right into the video. Julius Erving was born on the 22nd of February in 1950 in East Meadow, New York. Before Julius even touched an NBA basketball, he made a name for himself being a legend on the streets.
Since the 50s, Rucker Park in Harlem had hosted summer tournaments that brought names as big as Wilt Chamberlain and Connie Hawkins to the blacktop to play a version of the game where style was essential to the substance.
The first game you got in on this court here and played like a bum, you was a bum. So when Julius Erving came to Rucker, he would either be known in the basketball world as a great player, or he would have probably figured out a way to deal with his books and keep his grades high.
We played him the first game, and they kept saying, you wait till Julius gets here. You wait till Julius. And I'm like, who's Julius? I'm in the NBA. What I care about Julius?
Tom Hoover had never heard of him, but soon enough the kid named Julius was doing things that no one at the Rucker would ever forget.
At the baseline, he dunks, and the guy takes the ball out to throw it the length of the court for a fast break. He jumps up in the air and catches the ball and throws it down.
Charlie Scott shot a long shot, and Julius came, took it out of the air, and dunked it.
I took it right there. I said, I don't need to see anything else. This was it.
People here in Harlem, they really know good basketball. And, you know, if you do something real nice, you know, they show their appreciation.
He came down one time. I had the angle on him. He dunked the ball so bad, the ball hit me in the top of the head. My teeth fell out on the ground. The crowd roared. I had scrambled to grab him off the ground and put him back in my mouth. That helped build his reputation.
He had a sensational college career playing for UMass, averaging 20 points and 20 boards a game. When it came to the draft, it was way more complicated in the 70s, since there were two leagues, the ABA and the NBA. Although NBA rules at the time did not allow teams to draft players who were less than 4 years removed from high school, the ABA instituted the hardship rule that would allow players to leave college early. Julius took advantage of the rule change and left UMass after his junior year to sign a 4-year contract worth $500,000 spread over 7 years. Right from the start, Dr. J became one of the biggest stars the ABA has ever seen. In his rookie season, he averaged 27.3 points per game and was selected to the All-NBA second team, made the All-NBA rookie team, led the ABA in offensive rebounds, and finished second to Artis Gilmore for the ABA Rookie of the Year award. Erving played in the ABA for Virginia and the New York Nets until 1976. His last year was also the year of the legendary first dunk contest ever.
Good evening, everyone. This huge record-breaking crowd about to bear witness to one of the most spectacular events in professional basketball, the slam dunk contest.
I think the thing about it that I always loved was, you know, there was uncertainty. You didn't know who was going to win. I mean, you got David Thompson, Artis Gilmore, Larry Keenan, George Gervin, and myself. And, you know, we were all pretty good at throwing the ball down.
I was going up against Doc. I ain't have a chance. I knew I ain't have a chance.
Everybody knew it was probably going to come down between me and Dr. J.
I went baseline to the 360 dunk, the first recorded 360 dunk.
Oh, David Thompson! Twist around, slam dunk!
I was feeling pretty good about myself. I might win this slam dunk competition. But now it was Dr. J's turn.
And now the doctor goes to work. Unbelievable.
It's hard to come up with something new and different.
And Dr. J marked his steps from the other end of the court and took off running, and his afro was blowing in the wind.
And that sends everyone reeling. Julius Erving.
I wish I knew that much at that time to be able to say it would be as memorable as it was and it is.
When the NBA and the ABA merged, many people were skeptical if ABA players could even compete in the NBA. That question got answered pretty fast. After winning 2 ABA championships, Erving was putting up great numbers in his first year in the NBA. In his first NBA season, he made the All-Star game right away and was also the MVP.
This is Demirovic. Oh, showtime to the doctor. Here comes the doctor. House call. Oh, my goodness. 3:15 now for the game. Here's the doctor inside. Oh, give it to him and send him to the free throw line. The West Coast calling the shots. Oh, Dr. J. Collins to Julius. Oh!
Watch this move right here.
The 76ers were one of the best teams ever, and in 1983, they finally won an NBA championship, even though Dr. J was in the fall of his career. In 1987, at the age of 37, he retired, having a career average of 24 points, 8.5 boards, 2 steals, and 4 assists a game. How good was Dr. J, you ask? Well, let me pass on this question to some other people.
Without any doubt, the absolute greatest forward that has ever put on a pair of basketball shoes.
Look right there, what that say? Dr. J from the University of Massachusetts. This is a medical shoe because the doctor wore these. Number 6, captain of the Philadelphia 76ers.
They were specifically making this for a guy that was taking flight.
Julius, the Doctor Erving!
Hi, I'm Julius Erving.
Dr. J was such a superhero.
There is Julius Erving. Look at that move. Oh!
He was taking flight, man. #1 airline in the league for a long time.
Everyone else, as well as myself, might as well get used to it.
When Dr. J would take off, I mean, he was up there for some time.
Leave the special effects to the singers and the dancers.
You know, his hair would always be flying in the back as he's flying through the air.
Look out.
I mean, it's the doc. It was an operation. It was, he was up in the ICU and he was bringing someone back to life. He was bringing the arena back to life and letting you know.
And that sends everyone reeling. Julius Erving.
Dr. J, aging very well.
Here's another of my secrets. I never eat within 3 hours of a game.
Such a beautiful man. Oh my gosh, he had great legs too.
When he came along, his style just left an imprint that we'll never forget.
I didn't play the game for the money. I didn't play the game to be famous.
Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire.
With the first pick in the 1992 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic selects Shaquille O'Neal from Louisiana State
had a superstar.
Star hand-checking start, goes baseline. An NBA Finals record.
The 1990s were the golden age of NBA basketball and still have countless fans even until today. Hey everyone, I'm Sean David of NBA Got Game TV and the Basketball Time Machine. In this documentary, we want to take you guys back deep into the 1990s and relive the NBA at its best. If you follow my show, The Basketball Time Machine, on a regular basis, then you probably know that I had quite a few NBA stars on that show. But for this documentary, I'm really excited I got even bigger names to agree to be part of this. Just to give you some information what we're going to cover in this documentary, of course we're going to cover the Chicago Bulls, the Orlando Magic with young Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal, the Charlotte Hornets with Muggsy Bogues, Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson, the Los Angeles Lakers Reborn with Shaquille O'Neal, Nick Van Exel, Kobe Bryant, the European Invasion with Tony Kukoc, Drazen Petrovic and those guys, the Houston Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon, Sean Kemp, and many behind-the-scenes stuff you probably never heard of. We try to cover a lot of stuff that you haven't seen before. Our team is really committed to this project. From my 2 NBA shows, I know that there are hundreds of thousands of fans just like us who would love to be on that nostalgic ride, but without support, we won't get this project off the ground. So we launched this Kickstarter campaign and hope you guys will support this project so we can get it done. If you can't support this documentary financially, no problem, but please help us spread the word on social media. Thanks in advance, take care, and goodbye.